Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Most. Today I'm going to show you how you can create an awesome game in Python. But before we get started, make sure to subscribe so that you get notified whenever I upload a new video. So let's get started. So the game that I'm going to show you how you can create in Python is called the virus game. Basically, the logic of this game is that the user is going to choose a number from 1 to 5, and then the program is going to randomly get a virus from an array using the number that the user has chosen. And then if the virus is very bad, for example the coronavirus, then the user unfortunately is going to lose and the game is over. So it's kind of a funny game. So let's get started. First of all, in order to create this game, we need to import the random class. And in order to the reason why I'm importing the random is because I want to use it to get the array and to shuffle the elements in the array, and I'm going to show you that shortly. But first of all, we need to let the user pick a number. So I'm going to display a message to the user. Here I'm going to say input, and then I'm going to say please pick a number. Please pick a number, and that number should be between 1 and 5. And since it's going to be a number, it should be wrapped inside the int function, and then I'm going to store the result in a variable called chosen number. And let's display just a short description of this game before everything. Here I'm going to say print, and then let's say the survival game. So the user has to get a non-fatal virus in order to survive. Otherwise, the user is gonna unfortunately lose this game. So after the user picks a number, what we want to do is that we want to use the viruses array. So here I'm going to create an array called viruses, and it's going to be equal to 5 elements, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to leave the first element empty because we are going to let the user pick a number from 1 to 5, so we should ignore the first index, which has the first element, which has an index of 0. So make sure that you have this element empty, and then the second element should contain a virus. Let's say coronavirus, COVID-19, and then the second element, another virus, let's say flu, and then the third element, let's say SARS, and then the fourth element, let's say computer virus. I know it's funny, computer virus, and then the last virus, let's say no virus. So if the user gets no virus, if the user gets the last element, which is no virus, then the user wins because the user survives if the user gets the last element. But if the user gets any of these viruses, of course the situation is going to be different from one virus to another. So if the user gets the first virus, which is coronavirus, then the user loses immediately. So in order to pick a random element from this array, we need to shuffle the elements, because if I use the number that the user is going to choose and then get the corresponding element, the user eventually is going to know the location of each of these viruses. So we need to shuffle the location of these elements in this array, and that can be done using the random class. So I'm going to say here shuffle or shuffled array, which is going to be equal to the random, and then inside that random we need to use the sample. We need to call the sample, and then I'm gonna just pass the viruses array, and then the second element is gonna be the length of this viruses array, and this is going to get the same array, the same list, but each of these elements is going to be in a different location. So the COVID-19 might be at the end, computer virus might be at the beginning, we don't know. But the point is that it's going to return the same array but with different orders of these elements. So the next thing that we need to do is that we need to use the chosen number to get an element from this shuffled array, and depending upon this value, we can determine if the user wins or loses. So here I'm going to say if the shuffled array and then the chosen number is equal to COVID-19, then at this point the user loses. So we can say here print, and then you are dead, or you lost, game over, something like this. And then the second else if, let's say here shuffled array and then chosen number, let's say flu. If the user picks the flu, then we can say print, and then you are gonna be sick for a few days. And then else if the shuffled array chosen number is equal to the SARS, then we can say here print, and then you can, or there is a vaccine, let's say there is a vaccine for this, and then else if the user if the shuffled array chosen number is equal to the computer virus, then computer and then virus, we can here say print, and then get an antivirus. And then finally, if the shuffled array and then chosen number is equal to no virus, then the user wins. At this point, we can say here print, and then you survived. And then else, then we should say print, and then the number is wrong. At this point, the number should be wrong, because if we couldn't get any of these, then it means that the user has supplied us with a number that is not between 1 and 5. So at this point, we should say wrong number. Wrong number. Please choose a number between 1 and 5. And that's it. But we need to wrap everything inside a while loop in order to keep executing the script. And also here I'm going to display the virus, the name of the virus at the beginning of each at the beginning of each print. So here I'm going to say COVID-19, and then you are dead, and then here flu, and then you are going to be sick for a few days, and then SARS, and then there is a vaccine for this, and then here computer virus, and then finally you survived. No virus, you survived. And here, as I told you, I'm gonna wrap everything inside a while, and then let's say you create a x is equal to 1, and then as long as x is equal to 1 while x, then we need to keep executing. We need to keep executing this script. So I'm gonna just push that inside, and then the value of this of the x will only change if the user wins, if the user survives, meaning that here we should change this value. The value of the x should be, at this point, should be 0, which means that the execution of this code will stop at this point. And we can also here say print you survived and you won. You won. And that's it. Let's now run our program and see how it's going to work. So I'm going to open my terminal. And then in the terminal, I'm going to execute this file, Python, and then the name of the file, virus.py, and then hit enter. And as you can see here, it says the survival game. Please pick a number, let's say 1. And here it says no virus, you survived, you won. And as you can see, the execution, the code stopped executing because the value is now 0. The value of x is 0. Let's now try another number by executing the program, the game again. Let's say 2. And here it says SARS. There is a vaccine for this. Let's say 3. And here again, no virus. So if I type 4, SARS, let's type 5. Wrong number. Let's say 3. Wrong number. And the reason for this is because we have this empty. Let's add here else for this empty, else if that if the shuffled array and then choosing number is empty is nothing, we should actually do nothing. We should just say here print nothing. Try again, and then let's execute the code again, and let's say 3 or 2, and you won. Let's say 4, and then here it says computer virus, get an antivirus. Let's say 3. SARS, let's say 2, again 2, and then try again. Let's say 2, and then finally COVID-19, you are dead, game over. And it's a good way to practice your programming skills using the current situation with the coronavirus and all of that bad stuff out there. So you can practice on real life applications, because something like this is going to help you understand these things, and you can apply. You can create some more sophisticated scripts using the current situation and applying your knowledge on the current situation. This, by the way, is going to help you learn and develop your skills further quickly, because you are applying these skills and your knowledge on something real. That way you are going to learn faster than if you would just apply your knowledge on things that aren't real. So that's it. And by the way, I'm not trying to make the situation look easy and fine. I know that this situation is very difficult for many people and terrible. So this is just for this game is just for helping you understand and apply your knowledge on in Python. And yep, that's it. Take care and stay safe. And this is Most. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later.